Everybody, your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. We are out at the ICAST show. I know you guys saw me go live a little while ago, and we're waiting for Justin to get in on that bluefin, but we've got Reed the Fishmonger with us. It's amazing that I have you as busy as you are right now at the show, so I thank you for your time, because as we both know, that's the most valuable thing we have is our time. So we're going to share a little bit of our time with all of you that are watching right now. Reed and I did a podcast about 2 years ago. We talked about your dad in the fish market and how you grew up in this industry. And then what you've done is pretty amazing with the social media aspect of the fishmongering. I mean, you've taken it to a whole different level. Like Brian was just talking about, the reason why he loves filleting fish and doing it because of you. You've changed a lot of people's lives in this fishmongering industry because of your social media presence. It's pretty cool.
It blows me away every day. I'm just happy to be here. I feel blessed and privileged to be here, and so grateful to everyone that's watching this. If you watch our content that we make, thank you so much. It means the world to every view. I'm sure you're the same way, man. It's as our channel grows, I did not get desensitized to how awesome it is that you guys took time out of your day to watch what we produce. So thank you.
And that's what I love about you, because when I met you, Reed, you were already pretty well established, but you took the time to take my phone call, not even knowing who I was. And now we became friends. And I mean, we see each other here and there and everywhere. You always take a little bit of time. We're just like a couple of guys just kind of struggling through this industry, trying to figure it out, because you and I talked about this a little bit earlier. And I think a lot of people want to kind of, Dave, Reed, how'd you guys grow so big? How'd you guys, because social media is a really weird animal, like you said, and you have a massive following. I have a little following, and we're both working together all the time, and we just are blown away that people watch our stuff, right?
Yeah, man. Well, one, anybody that wants to do it, consistency is key. It's not worth getting into if you can't commit to it, because it's the commitment that really produces results. And I was lucky to have a background in hospitality, running a fish house before I ever went into seafood. And the most important thing we do at the fish house is take great care of our customers and our crew members and our fishermen. Hospitality, being kind and being helpful and taking good care of people that are working with you, whether it's working for you or coming in as a customer. Taking really good care of those people is what makes a business successful. And so I had a lot of experience in that, and I applied it to social media. So I treat, you guys that watch and follow as customers coming into my shop. When if you've messaged me asking a question, your experience is I responded to that question, and I tried my best to be helpful and answer any questions you guys have. When I first started, I responded to every single comment. That I think is a really meaningful tool that helped grow the channel as well.
Absolutely.
It creates community, and it creates that relationship, kind of like customers walking into our seafood market. And, I apologize for the newer viewers that don't see me responding to comments as much as I used to. It is really hard. I've been told to hire people to respond to comments. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have people pretend to be me. It feels weird. So I still respond to a lot. I spend about 2 hours a day, every single day, responding to comments and emails to this day. And that's another big part of the success is, trying my best to be considerate of your guys' time.
And I fully fall into what Reed's saying with the consistency, because I put out a phenomenal amount of content. I don't put out any long form. Reed's the master of the long form, and my other buddy Luke McFadden, you two guys got that going down. You got that long form. My stuff's bam, bam. I'm an old guy, and I'm just throwing out 1.5, 2 minute videos as fast as I can, 3 a day. But as far as touching our followers and touching the people that are watching us, that's super important. Nobody does it better than you do. You are there for the people. I know it's overwhelming now when you've gotten to the level where you're at, where we're literally getting 30,000 comments a week. It's overwhelming to try to do it all yourself. I have the same problem. Can't do it. My wife and I, we get up in the morning and we jump on having our coffee because we're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Threads, and X.
Wow.
Our video
That's
goes
a lot
out
more
on
than me.
our video, the same video you see goes out on 7 different platforms at the exact same time. But I don't have the massive following that you have. But if you went through all the groups, I have a pretty good following. But the comments are what drives, and you know it.
Yeah.
That's what drives the algorithm. When you participate in the back and forth with your people, that's what helps grow our stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
2 things: answering comments and putting out consistently putting stuff out. And like you and I, we don't understand the algorithm, because you can put out a video you and I thought would go 1 million, you'll get 6,000 views. The next video you put out will get 1.7 million views, and we didn't even think it was that good, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's happened. I've had plenty of videos that I spent so much time on before posting it, and I'm like, this is going to be it. This
the
is
masterpiece.
This is it. It's gonna be phenomenal. And then it's a flop. And then I crunch for time, and I rush and edit, and I throw it up, and it just the numbers skyrocket. And you know, it's not random. There's information points you have, and there is ways to there's ways to hedge. There's ways to put out content that you're confident is going to be good. I think what Dave and I are saying is not that it's random. It's just that you can be surprised even though you have so much data points.
Right. Like, you know, the video that I put out with Tommy Gomes where I'm eating the bone marrow.
Yeah.
We put it out 3 times. First 2 times, 30, 40,000 views. The last time, 75 million views on Instagram. 75 million views. Same video, same editing, same everything. 2 times, Elliot and I were like, this thing didn't hit. But we didn't give up on it. We waited. 5 months later, we put it back out. Didn't hit. 30,000 is not work. That's not, I mean, that's a big number but for us, you're like, well, it didn't hit yet.
Yeah.
Where did it get to 1 million? And then that thing went 75 million on Insta. I'm like, what the? It's the same video.
Did you make any changes?
Not one thing.
No re-edits? No.
Nothing. It's so weird. It doesn't make any sense. And then you've got a lot of really good videos where you break down the fish, which is, I think you and Tommy Gomes explain it perfect. There's no waste on a fish. And you are so into the environment, making sure that people understand that fish is a very valuable animal, and you don't waste it. And you teach people how to eat every single part of the fish, and you show them how to make the dips, and you show them how to do. I watch your stuff, just so you know.
Thank you so much, man.
So you show so much. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I watch a few people, and I watch you because it's interesting, because I like the way you break down the fish. And I like how you care about our industry so much to explain to people we don't want to waste this animal because it gave its life up for us. I know it's just a fish, but you show us how to eat it. You show us all the parts on it that are edible.
You know, here's a staggering statistic. If you forget commercial fishing, if you took just the annual harvest of recreationally killed fish in the U.S. alone, not Mexico, not South America, not Europe, in the U.S. alone, just recreationally harvested fish. If you got a 5% more yield out of every recreationally harvested fish, yield meaning 5% more meat out of the fish, that's over 10 million pounds of food that would be in circulation. That isn't. And
that's incredible. That is a staggering number.
That it is an insane number. So what Dave was saying, from a young age, I've been really passionate about not wasting fish. I grew up working in a fish market. I saw that the waste that came with seafood markets, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just the way it's always been.
Business is
And it's not like anybody's good or bad. Everyone's just doing the best that they can. But I started this. I'm 32. I'm going back when I was 15, 16 years old. I started cutting out cheeks and collars and rib meat, putting those in our display case, and trying to have conversations with our customers that this is actually a really delicious part of the fish. And we started developing a following for it. Fast forward to today, we sell those offcuts before they even make it into our display.
People are standing in line to get them.
We have pre-orders for all of the cheeks that are going to get cut the next morning. So today,
you educated the world, bro.
Today's Wednesday, so I'm not in the seafood market, but if I called the seafood market right now and asked them, what do we have ordered for tomorrow morning? One of those orders is going to be all of the cheeks we cut in the morning, and another order is going to be wings. They might be in the same order. I digress. There's now a following for these cuts in our area and in other areas also. I'm not saying I'm the one that did it. I'm just saying that in our area, that's what I was doing. And I couldn't help but to ask, what about the rest of the fish? It's because even after you cut those cuts out of the fish, there's still great meat on the skeleton. But you can't cut skeleton meat out and make a pretty portion like you can a belly or a collar or a cheek. This, you can only pull all the meat off in chunks from grilling, smoking, steaming, things like this, soups. So we're actually in the process of launching a new sustainable seafood company called Rest of the Fish, where we're going to be buying tens of thousands of pounds of commercially processed fish frames, the skeleton, the rest of the fish. We're going to take those and we're going to be steaming them, picking them, kind of like you do the blue crab meat, and then turning it into delicious street food.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. One of the videos that caught me was the lionfish video. That fish is incredible what you've done to show everybody that is a totally edible, good eating fish. The way you cut it up with the scissors and then butterfly that thing out. The things you do with all the different fish on your channel, on your YouTube channel, your Instagram channel, what you've done with fish. I had no idea that lionfish was that bitchin' of a fish to eat.
Yeah,
you did
delicious.
A great deal because they're an invasive species.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of them. But hey, let's eat them while we're getting rid of them, right?
In the early 2000s, when their population really started to explode in the South Atlantic fisheries, we didn't know that they were good to eat at first. Someone told us that, and going back a long time now, I was very skeptical. This is way before there was any kind of push to eat them. None at all. And someone said they were good. So we went out, we shot a couple, we tried them. We're like, holy crap, these actually are good. So we then started harvesting and cleaning and displaying in our seafood market lionfish. At the time, it was dirt cheap. There was no market for it. No one wanted it. We gave away, we as in my dad and I processed them. He caught most of them. Thousands of lionfish. Gave away to the community to encourage them to eat it. What we did was for one entire week, every customer that came in, we gave them 2 free fillets of lionfish and told them to try it and let us know what they think. We developed a following for it after that week, and those customers became buyers for lionfish, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends. And then instead of just our own boat that was spearfishing for them, we have a commercial vessel that runs divers as well as topwater fishes. But we started buying lionfish off of other commercial spearfishermen as well, and then selling their lionfish, and it was a hit. This is way before there was any media attention on it. Since then, there's been a ton of media attention, and there really isn't isn't in our area. There still is some outside of our community, but in Southeast Florida, there really isn't a commercial market for lionfish anymore. We hardly ever have it in our display case anymore because there just really aren't a lot of them. It's most of it is going to recreational spear fishermen, which is a good thing. This is
Right.
this is what we wanted to happen.
They wanted to kind of get rid of them, and you helped that tremendously by allowing people to taste it and see what it, that's a story I thought was important to tell.
Yeah, I mean, that's in our small community. What really moved the needle was all of the national attention that came. And, this is way before I had a platform, so I didn't play a role in the national attention. And that really just created a boom of a movement. And it's a wonderful thing. I'm glad they're less of a problem now. We just more rely on recreational spear fishermen to kill them because there's not enough of them to make it worth really targeting for commercial fishermen, and they're smaller. So if you're a recreational spear fisherman, kill as many as you can. They're still out there, but not in commercial numbers. We're relying on you guys to kill them. So thanks for all your service.
And then take them home and eat them because they're phenomenal table fare.
Yeah.
And the way that you've taught us all how to utilize every part of the fish is a pretty spectacular thing. Let's just, because I know you got to go, let's just talk about your dad for a few minutes and how you got into this and Clay Seafood and the whole thing for like a few minutes, because your dad did a phenomenal thing bringing you up in the industry just like my father did. If it wasn't for our dads, we wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this. We'd probably be working in the tobacco industry or something.
Man, I'm so blessed. My dad is Captain Clay of Captain Clay and Son Seafood Market. He's been commercial fish in the South Atlantic fishery since the 70s. I grew up working with him. We used to sell our catch to other seafood markets, which is why we opened up our own market. And he turns 68 in a couple of months, and he is still commercial fishing.
And he's making videos with you a lot too, which is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, he's I'm very lucky that he supports the whole social media thing. It's been a blessing to our business. And that's thanks to you guys for watching. So thanks so much, y'all.
Yeah, and check out his father's seafood, and also the place where you see Reed cutting the fish. That's a family business. Mom's still involved?
No, so mom, dad, and I opened up together.
Okay.
We used to joke around and say we have 3 employees, none of them are on payroll.
That's where we were last time we talked.
But mom's not with us anymore.
Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
That's life, man. She's in a better place now.
Okay. Sorry about that. No, didn't mean to do that right now.
It's all good, man. It was a while ago. But my brother, father, and I still own and operate together, and the 3 of us make a great team. We all do different parts of the business. I do day-to-day operations. My older brother is the one that is the buyer for the market, making sure that we have all of that gorgeous fish coming in constantly. He never gets the rest because, as you know, the buyer for a market is the most important job of the entire market. It is, why we have the beautiful product we have is because of those relationships that you constantly have to be working on and nursing and taking care of. And it is a giant game of Tetris of watching the weather, buying, selling, moving product, and it's I'm glad that's not my job. I just do day-to-day operations. I make sure I take great care of the customers. I hire and train my amazing crew. Our crew is receiving all the fish coming in from the commercial fishermen, storing, getting processed, getting displayed for you guys to come in and purchase it. And it's a blessing.
You guys do a phenomenal job keeping everybody aware of what's going on, and it's so fun to watch your dad interact with you in the videos too, which is kind of cool to watch, gang. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out because it's really cool for the family atmosphere of what's going on. And you're, like you said, your father embracing the social media thing, which a lot of people my age and his age, they don't get it. They don't understand it. But your dad has totally gone on full bore. He's kind of awesome. A character in there.
Oh, man.
Watching him interact with you and doing the stuff. And now he understands what it is. and how he can put it together. And it's kind of fun
I don't know
to
if
watch.
he understands it, but
Well,
but
it
he
seems like
supports
he
it.
does when he's
Yeah.
talking, when he's doing his thing back
Oh,
there
yeah.
behind the table, and he's talking about this fish or that fish and
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of what Reed's going to do with this today or what you're going to do. And it's fun. If you haven't seen Reed the Fishmonger, you can check him out. And then you can also go check out Clay's Seafood, right?
Captain Clay and Sons Seafood Market.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you check all that out. I know you got a ton of stuff to do, and I'm just going to let you go and go do your stuff because I don't want to keep you too long, but I appreciate
Thanks for having
everything
me,
you
man.
do for the industry. And thanks for just taking the time for my silly little podcast. I appreciate you
It's not a
very,
silly
very
podcast.
much.
I think what you're doing is absolutely awesome. Giving a platform to people in the industry to have a conversation, and that way you guys get to hear a little bit of an inside scoop. Thanks to Dave.
Thank you,
Thanks
Reed.
again, brother.
Thank you very, very
Yeah.
much. You have a wonderful time. I'll see you out there on the floor. I'm going to talk to the people a little bit about this bluefin thing going on in
Okay.
Southern California. I know you got to come out and do it a couple years ago, so you saw how fun it is.
Oh, man, it's a blast.
Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you out on the floor, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, gang. That was pretty cool having Reed with us, wasn't it? So Justin's out there on the water right now trying to find that bluefin. He's been searching all day. As of right now, he hasn't found any of that fish yet. But, gang, we got some other guests maybe joining us or supposed to join us. I'm not sure. We'll kind of go over a few of the things that have been talked about this year at the show and what we believe needs to happen here, gang, is we all need to be involved in this fishing thing. It's super important to understand. Social media is absolutely the way that's going to happen. There's a big Fish and Game Commission meeting right now and tomorrow. They did it perfect. They planned it just for the ICAST show. The Fish and Game Commission in California is trying to figure out how they can close some more of the California coastline. The MPAs, they're not happy with what they've already closed. They want to close some more. They're moving in that direction to try to close some more of the fisheries in Southern California. You want to stay active. You want to stay involved. You want to watch what's going on. My sister assured me that they're not in the process of taking calls and taking comments from the public. So we didn't. When I found out about it, I was like, it's going to be ICAST. I'm going to be in the middle of ICAST. I don't want to do that to everybody. I don't want to take away from what's going on at ICAST and try to find out what's going on right now. But yeah, Arnie, but we all need to show up. That's the biggest problem. I talked to Bill Varney a little while ago, and there was like 4 anglers and a bunch of the people on the other side. 4 anglers because they scheduled this for ICAST, which I don't know. Diabolical, maybe, is a word we would throw out there. Super strategic. I don't know. I would hate to think that that's why they did it like this, but it's exactly what's going on right now. My friend Reed the Fishmonger was very, very nice to come on with us because you have no idea how busy it is out on the show. If you didn't watch our live out on the show cruising around. But thanks, Reed, very much for coming on with us. Also, gang, what's going on in Southern California with the sand bass? Thank gosh we all showed up at that Fish and Game Commission meeting, and the sand bass fishery is open right now. Could you imagine if we didn't have the sand bass right now to fish in Southern California? All the half-day and three-quarter-day boats that are out there catching fish, if that would have been banned for no reason at all with no science. That's why we try to rally the troops together all the time on this show and get everybody to show up at all this stuff that's going on, because there is an entity out there, unfortunately for all of us, that doesn't want us to fish. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to anybody here at the show that we're talking to. Fishing basically saved my life. If it wasn't for fishing, I wouldn't be here right now. So I can't imagine not having the opportunity to fish and not being able to fish. It would be a terrible place to be on the planet. So it's super imperative that you guys stay involved, stay in touch, make sure you're getting the information that's going on about the closures, what's coming down the pipe, because this 30 by 30 didn't go away. It's still floating around out there. They're still trying to close fish more areas in Southern California. There's a group in Laguna Beach, California that is bound and determined to close that last 4 miles of Laguna. They believe in their hearts that that last 4 miles of Laguna that's open needs to be closed, and it needs to be closed immediately. Now, they're doing this with zero science. There's no science for any of these closures. So let's all just make sure that we're involved. I will try to keep you all informed of what's going on. I didn't tell anybody about what was going on with this meeting right now because I couldn't be involved with it because I'm out at ICAST, and I know they did this on purpose. But I don't want to say that. I'm sorry. Pull that back. Edit that out. But another thing we talked about this morning at the ICAST morning meeting was how important it is to take children fishing. And Steve Harvey was one of our speakers this morning, and him and his wife Marjorie run a fishing camp, if you will. They've taken millions of children fishing that would never, ever have caught a fish. And something Steve Harvey was saying, some of the badasses, gangbangers on the planet, these guys are gnarly, face tattoos and everything. They are terrified when they touch a fish. They're just terrified when they touch a fish. And then they get into it, and then they start fishing. But he said it's the funniest thing he'd ever seen, these gnarly gangbangers. And he takes them fishing out there on his ranch, and they squeal like a little schoolgirl when they go to touch that fish. But what the Harveys are doing, you can't replace that. What the Harveys are doing is they're taking children that don't have the opportunity to go fishing, and they're showing them about fishing, and they're letting them see. And they have plenty of people that are volunteering and donating tackle and donating hooks and donating lines so that children get a chance to fish. We can all be a part of this. Everyone that's watching today, take a kid fishing, figure out how to take a kid fishing. If you can't figure out how to take a fishing, we've had members of our website, members of our community offer up donations for children to go fishing on Captain Al Clowers' boat, Captain Justin Bottrell's boat, or Captain Pablo's boat. That is still out there. There's still that opportunity. You can still help us to take more children fishing. It's a great opportunity. Or if you don't have the ability to do that, take a child fishing. Take a child surf fishing. Get the Bill Varney game plans. Go down to the beach. Take children fishing. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do is take a child fishing. You cannot believe the look on their face when they catch that fish, the excitement, the joy in their heart when they have the opportunity to catch a fish that they've never had an opportunity to catch before. It's just pretty amazing how easy it is and how many people don't do it. And the other thing I would say is if you do take a child fishing and you do hook a nice fish, don't wind it in. Stop. Take a deep breath. Hand the pole down to the child on the boat. Let them catch the fish. Gang, if you're taking a kid fishing so they can watch you fish, you obviously haven't been paying attention to what I do. You obviously haven't been paying attention to what I talk about on a daily basis. And you obviously don't really want a kid to ever go fishing again. Children don't want to watch you wind in a fish. They want to be involved in the winding in of the fish. Like my buddy Brian, he's sitting here right now. If he didn't get an opportunity to catch a fish, he wouldn't be fishing like a maniac every time he has his second off. But somebody allowed him to wind that fish up when he was a young man. And now all he wants to do is go fish. And he said something really funny to me last night when we got out of the car from being at the show all day. I jumped out of the car and I said, let's go fishing. He was like, I can't believe you get this excited about fishing. You're 64 years old. You fished your whole life. and you want to jump out of the car and run down there and go fishing. And it was raining. And it was raining, and I couldn't wait to get down there to go catch another fish that I hadn't caught for years. And I am super excited all the time. And that's because my dad took me fishing when I was a little boy. And you guys all have that opportunity to do that for people. You got an opportunity to take children fishing. That is a very, very, very important thing that you're all involved in, is the opportunity to take some young people fishing. It can change their lives. It can save their lives. Believe me, it saved my life. So let's make a commitment today, moving forward, that we're going to try to take as many children as we can fishing this year. Right, Brian? It's super important. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I am. You know what I'm looking the most forward to today after the podcast is getting in the car and going back to the house, because we don't have any guests showing up till 7 tonight. So Brian and I are super excited to do what? Go fishing. I don't care if I even catch a fish. I just like being out on the water, driving around, throwing worms at the lily pads. And I got to show Brian something he's never seen before. We saw largemouth bass foaming in the lake that we're on. The largemouth bass in the afternoon come up on these schools of these little micro baits. They're like this big. They'll come up chasing them, back flipping out of the water. Brian had an opportunity to throw his lure right in the middle of them yesterday and hook 3 and catch 1. And then we ran around looking for it again. It never happened again. But yeah, we're both like a couple of little school kids. We get an opportunity to go fishing, and that's what we want to do, is go fishing. And that's because someone took us fishing when we were young. My good friend Cubby Paul, winner of the Bisbees, he's right here on the show right now. What he loves to do is go up in the lakes in San Diego, Oceanside, and go catch a trout. He loves to go trout fishing. Yeah, he catches 1,000-pound marlin. He catches 10-pound calico bass. But he loves to fish, and he loves to get out there and just go fishing. And he's like a little kid when he gets to go. Same as me. When we have the opportunity to go fishing, we still don't sleep very good at night. When I was up in Alaska, we fished 8 days in a row every day. Well, actually 9, because we fished the day we got there, Ron, Pat, and I. And the 3 of us were like little kids. We could not wait to go fishing in the morning. And it wouldn't get light until 3 o'clock in the morning. It would get dark at midnight, light at 3. And then, I don't know, when the lights come back on, I wake up. And then we weren't allowed to leave the dock until 5. And then you just sat there and look at the beautiful flat glassy water and just couldn't wait to get back out there to go fishing again. It's kind of weird. It's a weird, weird drug, this fishing thing. And I wish you all could experience it and understand what I'm talking about, because it's absolutely amazing. Once you have that addiction, you'll understand. There's a lot of people. Matt Ryan, that's what gets Matt Ryan through his days doing that job. That he's really, the state of California won't even allow him to really do his job, but he's trying on a daily basis to do his job. But he just wants to get to the point where he can take the afternoon or the morning off and go surf fishing, right? And yeah, Cubby, you're absolutely right. Fishing saved our lives. That's for damn sure. No one can tell us different. Fishing absolutely saved our lives. It's an amazing, amazing drug. And you don't feel guilty at the end when you're done. You do not feel guilty. I'm just texting Justin to see if he caught a fish. But yeah, Matt Ryan, you're absolute. I got to tell your story because it's important. Fishing takes away everything. When you're standing on the dock, or you're standing on your boat, or you're standing on the beach, and you cast your line into the water, I don't care what's going on in your life. When that bait or that lure or whatever it is you threw hits the water, you're focused on one thing. Everything else melts away off to the side. You're focused on getting a bite. Normally, if you can't download the garbage inside you to get to the point where you can go down and go fishing, you really probably aren't even able to cast anyway. But once you cast that line into the water, everything melts away. And all you can think about is getting a bite. I want a bite. I want a bite. I want a bite. I want a bite. Brian and I was thinking about that last night when I was driving away on the boat. All we both wanted driving around in those farmers were like a couple of idiots driving around. We worked 12 hours yesterday. We worked in the pouring down rain. We talked to 150 people. Then we came into the booth, downloaded all the stuff that we had. Brian sat down, took notes for 15 or 20 minutes. Then we jumped in the truck and we drove as fast as we could to the lake, got to the lake. It's pouring down rain, jumped in the boat, went out fishing. The minute the line hit the water, the only thing we could think about was getting a bite. Nothing else mattered. Anything we were doing, everything just drifted away. John, I just talked to Daniel Rubin before I went live. I was over in his booth. He still can't stop talking about the beautiful day that he had fishing with his new friend, John, from River Cats Tackle Gang. John, you showed Daniel some really cool stuff. You definitely tattooed his memory with that catfish fishing. He's never had the opportunity to do that. He can't quit talking about it. He's at the biggest trade show for this industry in the world, ICAST. And what's he talking about, John? Catfish fishing, because you just embedded that in your mind. And it's all because of fishing. It's all because of fishing. All this stuff we're talking about today on the show, Reed and I sitting here talking. Reed goes fishing all the time. Reed loves to fish, and he loves to process the fish, and he loves to teach you how to eat the fish. But yeah, Lisa, absolutely. I call it that all the time. When we did the trip to Alaska, I told Ron the night before I flew up there, I didn't sleep a minute because I didn't want to miss the alarm, because I didn't want to miss my flight to Alaska, because I thought it was like I was a little kid going to Alaska. I mean, going to Disneyland when I was a little kid. That's what Alaska felt like to me. And it's the same thing when you going bass fishing, going catfish fishing. Fishing is important, gang, and we need to make sure that we do the very best we can to keep fishing open. In America, for some reason, they don't want us to fish anymore in America. I want you guys to check out this little video that Brian and I made for you guys with some of the Promar products. This is what you must have if you're out doing what Justin's doing, trolling around out there trying to catch a bluefin. Watch this real quick. All right, gang, your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen, with some more bitchin' Ahi Promar products. So, PromarAhi.com. Different products, but what we're talking about today is the lure that I always have in the spread, whether I'm fishing marlin, or I'm fishing tuna, or fishing bonita, or fishing yellowtail, and we're trolling. We always have the 6-inch wood cedar plug color, the natural color cedar plug. This is by Ahi, Promar Ahi. You go to the store, look at the cedar plug variety. They have the daisy chains, but I'm telling you, you always have to have the natural wood in the pattern behind the boat. What eats these? Marlin, wahoo, tuna, dorado, yellowtail, bonita. People have even caught white sea bass on them, trolling along the edges of the kelp. I'm telling you, the cedar plug, the natural color, 6-inch. So check out the 6-inch natural wood colored cedar plug and all the other products over PromarAhi.com. Thank you. This lure is absolutely incredible. The balancing of the lure, the way it swims in the water, the flash tinsel, everything works to catch fish. It's an amazing lure. All right, gang, we're back. I'm sorry, but that cedar plug's something you got to have in your arsenal. Tom, we're in the back of the building in the press area. Press area back in the building. Yep, at booth 3044. Brian will be standing out in the front of the booth to let you in here. Yep, right next to the Dexter booth and the Shimano booth. I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. All right, that's my good friend Tom. Kids Can Fish. That's why I was talking to you all about this kids fishing thing, because him and his daughter Caroline are going to be coming in here in a few minutes for the show to talk about what they got going on and all the cool things they got going on with Kids Can Fish. They've been on our podcast a few times. They got a lot of great things going on. Tom and his daughter Caroline have put together some great things for children, taking kids fishing, introducing them to surf fishing, which Bill Varney and I talk about normally on Wednesdays, which is a really great thing to do because it doesn't cost any extra money. You're already down at the beach. All you need to do is have a little fishing pole and some bait, but the bait's usually provided by the beach itself, by the Lord, by higher power other than yourself. You don't have to buy the bait. It's already available for you, so you can just jump in there, grab some of that bait right off the beach, some sand crabs, some mole crabs, something like that. Get some of that together with you, and then you just throw it out in the water and start catching fish. But we're going to have Tom and his daughter on here in a minute. They're going to tell you all about all the great things that they got going on with Kids Can Fish. And gang, if there's any questions that any of you have ever on our podcast or about our website or about anything else that's going on, all you have to do is leave a comment, and I answer all the questions as quickly as I possibly can. And if you want to know more about our website, how you can be involved with Your Saltwater Guide, how you can become family members like Lisa and Matt and Darren and Ron and Justin and Melanie and Lisa and John and all the members that are on here every day that you see of this podcast live. They're on every platform jumping in. Mike Lewis, always there for me, always giving out stars, always reminding me to tell everybody. If you're watching on Facebook, you can give me stars. What the stars do is they allow us one more opportunity to keep doing this show, because without the stars, without the great sponsors, it's hard to do this show 6 days a week live. It really is. Tomorrow we're going to be live from out here on the show floor with John Bretza and his son Xander. They're going to be live with me here. We're going to be talking Okuma products. We're talking about all the great things. We kind of introduced the new slow pitch reel last week on the show on Wednesday, the Tesoro slow pitch reel. Well, let me tell you something. We're going to be posting this video. I was at the bass tank today. Yeah, Dave Hansen at the freshwater bass tank doing a seminar at 10:30 this morning in Florida, 10:30 to 11. And I had that slow pitch rod and I had our new Akara jigs. And I know you're going to find this hard to believe. I think there's nine or 10 bass in this bass tank. I was flipping the Akara jig, doing the slow pitch, twitching the jig back. Ron, you'll love this. Just the way I was doing it in Alaska. And I had every bass in that tank eat that Akara jig at least 5 times. There's about an 8-pounder in there. That guy would push all the other fish out of the way every time. It's absolutely amazing. So we're going to give you guys a mic to share. You guys are going to get to share this mic. Here they are, Tom and Caroline, joining us live right here on the show floor at ICAST. Hey, guys.
What's up, everybody?
Thanks for jumping in with us. Sorry I put you on a wild goose chase out there.
We found you.
Yeah, you did. You're
hardly
sweating.
anybody here.
Oh, yeah, no one's here. Yeah, exactly. It's Caroline. So good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
I am excited. I've been telling everybody about how important it is to take kids fishing. You have a phenomenal organization that you basically put together, and then your dad kind of helped you a little bit. But tell everybody what the name of the organization is.
Kids Can Fish.
Kids Can Fish, gang. That's how simple this is. I'm telling you, it's important to take children fishing. But I'm going to let you and your dad kind of explain to everybody what you guys, because what you guys are doing is pretty special. And the way the community comes together to help you guys, you can't do it without our community, right?
Not at all.
And there, you guys are taking a lot of kids fishing and introducing them to something that you love.
Yeah.
Right? You love to fish.
Yes.
So talk about it.
How to
You
start.
got the floor.
So me and my dad went on a boat, and it was one of our first times going out. Like, we were kind of new to the whole offshore thing, kind of just trying to get the gist of it. And I caught my first cobia, and the first thing that I screamed was, "Girls can fish." And my dad was like, "Yeah, that's you. Like, your girls can fish. Like, you can fish." And so we kind of did like the whole Facebook and all of that. And then people started messaging my dad, "What about the boys? Like, let's include the boys." And so then we kind of transferred it into Kids Can Fish.
And the crazy part is to have a 8-year-old daughter that wants to be offshore with you and wants to spend fishing time with you. I was pretty fortunate and lucky, but what we're learning is that there's a lot of young ladies that like to fish, and that spend, not only we're learning, we thought it was just spending time with dads. There's a lot of young ladies that fish with moms, so we're seeing a shift in the sport, which is pretty awesome. And some of these
And
moms,
that's your fault.
right?
How cool is that?
Some of these moms that we've met, they're not just beginning like anglers. Some of these moms are hardcore anglers, which is kind of cool. But we had a little thing, like we figured out that this kids thing is something that our community needed. So we ran our first camp, and we had, I think it was 35 kids, and it was at our local recreational area, has a pond, and there wasn't a single fish caught because the weather was terrible. It was early March. But everybody was like, "That was awesome. Do it again. We loved it. Had a great time."
Because it's fishing. Everything we talk about, gang, it's fishing. It's not catching. We never mention the word catching.
Right.
It's fishing, right? To talk more about, I'm sorry.
Caroline, when we go to our camps, and if there's 50 or 60 kids on the beach surf fishing, how many of them do you see that have a phone or an electronic?
None. I have never seen a kid at one of our camps be on a cell phone or an electronic of any type.
Have you ever seen kids of different ages, races, backgrounds? Has there ever been an argument, a crying session? It's like you see kids being kids.
Yeah.
And it makes, like, I know how I was raised. I'm sure that you remember how you were raised. And it just reminds me that it can be done.
Oh, yeah.
We just got to remember our roots. And we got to teach these kids that there is a way to show them what an honest, like, true youth childhood should be like.
And Tom, the number one message I try to share with everybody, it's up to us as the parents. You know, Caroline would have never got involved if you hadn't taken her.
Right.
And there's so many parents out there. You don't have the ability, but you do have the ability to go down to the beach, which what you guys do is pretty amazing because it doesn't take a phenomenal amount of money. You're going to the beach and you're throwing a line in the water, right? And you're introducing this whole bunch of kids that have never had an opportunity. So don't use money as a thing. It's not the thing.
And I think a lot of people are intimidated, be like, "Oh, I don't know how to do that." We have this great thing called YouTube now. If you want to learn how to catch a bass, you want to learn how to catch a shark, whatever it is, there's a simple way to learn. And if you don't, or you're timid, just reach out to us. That's what we do. We do a lot of education, not only at our camps. We get calls and emails all the time. We want to get started. Where should I spend my money? I don't want to buy something that's not going to work. And we'll do education that way too. So if you have a kid,
you get a chance, put their website up on there.
If you have a kid that doesn't fish or you don't fish, but you want to get into that world, there are people that are willing to help you.
Yeah, and you guys have no idea how many children have you taken fishing.
It's close to 1,400 in 4 years.
And it's just these two. They're just putting it together. I know you got help, but you guys just had a vision.
Right.
That's these two taking 1,400. If more of us got involved, we could be taking hundreds of thousands of children. This, like I said, this morning we watched, and we all seen Steve Harvey comedy show. We've seen Steve Harvey on Family Feud and all the other things. We've seen him in all the movies. This morning we found out Steve Harvey and his wife, Marjorie, have taken almost 1 million inner-city kiddies, 1 million inter-city children fishing.
I didn't know that.
Quietly, no, they don't want a parade. They don't want anything. They bought a ranch, and they're taking these kids fishing.
Wow.
And just to see these children's faces, you see it all the time. Like when you give the award for the kid that catches the biggest fish. That you can't buy that look on their face. You can't.
We had a surf camp a couple weeks ago. We caught some sharks, but they weren't massive, like 4 or 5 footers like we normally can catch easily. We're talking little pup sharks. The kids were having a blast.
Oh my gosh!
I've never held a shark before, and they get excited about it. So don't worry
It's a
about
shark.
the
Come
quality.
on, Dad.
Catching a fish is catching a fish, and there's one thing that fishing does is kids are happy. You never see a kid upset when a fish is on the line. You don't.
And it's total stress reliever, but it also brings children together that never thought they would come together, gang. And what you guys have done and what you've put together is a pretty amazing thing. And I love to see you guys when I get here. Like I called you before we came. I said, Tom, are you and Caroline coming? Because if you are, I want you on the podcast because that's how special you guys are to me. And I love having you with me because I believe you're changing human beings' lives. You're changing moms, you're changing dads, and you're changing children. And you know, all you wanted to do was turn some kids on to what you loved, what you found out you loved. And you're like, Dad, how can we do this? And now you've turned this into a really cool thing. And you got one of our biggest sponsors. You got Promar totally involved. They donate an epic amount of stuff.
Big time.
And you teach kids how to throw that net that I don't even know how to throw. Remember, we were throwing it on people here at the show last year, right? That was so fun. And that's what it's all about, gang. Brian, did you have a chance to put their website up there?
I put it on through my.
You're so good. Brian's the best. And Elliot's got a big meeting right now, or he would be throwing up the stuff. But Caroline, why don't you let everybody know where you're at and how can more people get involved in going fishing with you and your dad? Or how can they start something like this where they're at? Kind of talk freely. No structure, just do it.
So, really, like I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been fishing as much as I would like to just because of high school softball. But my dad's very like, okay, like it's 6 o'clock, let's go bass fishing, like it's time, let's go. Like and he's like just getting home from work and like we're just having fun. And then he's like, oh yeah, it'll be like 9 o'clock. He's like, you wanna go hit BP too? I'm like, sure, let's go. And so we have a lot going on, but we still make time for fishing.
And I would say people think that you have to spend hours and hours and hours. Go to a local pond. Where did you catch your first fish ever? Where was it?
I don't remember the exact location, but I remember the moment.
Because you were tiny. You weren't even 4 yet. But it was a community small pond in Baldwin, Missouri that had weeks before stocked some trout in there. But, you know, most of them had been fished out. Her little brother was just born, and we needed, like, dad and daughter time because she's got a new brother. And what happened? What did we do?
I caught my first ever fish.
And you went crazy. We have the video. It's awesome. I have a video of her catching her first fish.
Make me cry.
And, you know, we went there with no expectations. It was just we're going to spend time. But we caught a really small trout. I happened to get lucky, get it on video. And, like, it is the best video I have probably on my roll.
Probably makes you cry every time you watch it, right?
Like,
yeah, because it's making me cry thinking about it because it brings back so many bitchin' memories.
I would have never thought that at 3 years old, 3.5 years old, fast forward 13 years, that I'd have her fishing at this level after catching a little trout. And I'm not saying that's the pinnacle moment, but it was just a dad needing to spend time with a daughter because we had a new kid, you know, my son.
Right.
And it doesn't take a lot. So you have the resources in your communities, and sometimes little tiny ponds that you don't think have anything in them have really big fish in them. My son just caught it was a big bass. And it's on our Instagram, actually, if you want to see neighbors across the pond are filming this.
Oh,
and people are like on the Instagram, they're like, oh, look at these Karens. They're upset. No, the parents were happy. And we had a community like kids fish the ponds.
Yeah.
And they're filming Graham, and he pulls this thing up on shore, and it's this big bass. And this pond in our neighborhood is the smallest pond in the neighborhood. It's weeded over.
We've always kind of overlooked it, but we kind of know that there's...
And Graham pulled a stud out of there about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So don't overlook ponds that you think won't produce. You have them in your communities, whether it's small ponds, big reservoirs, rivers, creeks, stuff like that. But if you want to get involved with us, our camps are usually March through like October. We announce them always on Instagram and Facebook, and they fill fast. So if we have a surf camp, like we have one coming up September 27th, we have the opportunity to take 60 kids surf fishing. That
That's
camp will
crazy.
fill most likely in less than 1 day.
How exciting.
And it's the demand. People want it. Plus, I think they know the product they're getting. They're getting not only us and our partner, Brandon, and then we have a really good network of volunteers, of people that are fine anglers, that if we're like, hey, we're having an event on September 27th, we're going to have 15 or 20 people there wanting to volunteer their time. And they're part of the Kids Can't Fish family now. So we're very
Well, let's be
fortunate.
honest. Brandon's really the guy that's putting the whole thing together,
Yes.
Tom.
He
Let's
looks,
just be honest.
Looks a lot better.
I
He's
know.
the face.
He doesn't want to be in front of everybody, but we know. And Matt Ryan, Tom does what you do for a living, so you know the stress is there too. Matt Ryan's one of my best buds. He watches every show. He's right here with you. And you know how important this is, Matt Ryan, for you, for your sanity. That's what it is for Tom. It allows Tom to get connected with the children and forget about that garbage that he has to deal with every single day, which my hat's off to Tom. I respect the guy to the utmost because what you guys have to do for a living is just unbelievable nowadays with what's going on in the world. So for you and Matt Ryan and all the other people that understand what I'm talking about, thank you for what you guys do, guys and gals, because you guys do something that nowadays
It's a different job.
it's not fair how you're treated. It's not fair in any way, shape, or form. So thank God for fishing. Once again, we're back to that. Fishing saved my life. Fishing saved a lot of my friends that are watching this right now. That's why it touches me so deeply when Caroline tells her story and Tom tells the story about the first fish. Because I remember when I was 3 years old, still right to this second, going out on the boat with my dad. And that you can't touch that. And there's so many people out there that need that in their life and need to experience that, right?
Right, absolutely.
And you guys are doing it for people. And like you said, now you're finding out moms want to be a part of this thing. You're like, wait a minute, I'm over here. Mom's right here. I want to go on.
And the reason is because it's fun. They realize, like, it's not just the male dominating. It's fun being out there. Great to be with your kids, but when you catch a quality fish, like, oh, this is a good time.
This is pretty bitchin'.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Can I tell them how we fund the program?
Yeah, please go into everything. That's why we're here.
Yeah, so our team, the administration or the operators, founders are me, Caroline, and Brandon, and then obviously our wives and friends help us. But we do fundraising throughout the year in a lot of different forms. And then the Running of the Bulls charity surf redfish tournament is October 11th and 12th. That's the big one. That is really what gets us over the hill and is able to fund these camps. But if you're not in the Southeast and can't attend the tournament, like right now we have a really great opportunity. We got a custom fire kettle. It's a cast iron fire kettle. Like, it's a 30-gallon heavy thing. It's a high-end product that was donated to us. It's about $4,000 in value. We're selling raffle tickets for that right now on our website. And then whoever's drawn, we draw the ticket at the Running of the Bulls tournament. We'll ship it to the winner. So when you buy tickets, we'll ship it out to California.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I just locked you into some tickets.
Yeah, I guess I'm buying some tickets today.
Those tickets are $10 a piece. $50 will get you 6, and $100 get you 12.
And how can they get the tickets?
You go to www.kidscanfish.net. If you go up to our shop, click on the shop tab, you'll see the Sea Island Forge raffle. When you order one online, I personally hand fill out the ticket, retain the stub until the drawing's done, and then make sure that, we save all the stubs for
Lisa, Tom's going to tell you one more time. Could you put it up there? Brian's busy playing a video game. Could you put it up there real quick? You going to do it?
Kids Can Fish on that, right?
www.kidscanfish.net.
our goal
on the screen right
just
there.
to give you an idea, last year
right on that phone. It'll come right up in the comments.
Yeah.
Everybody will see it.
Last year we spent $12,000 in surf rods and did 200 kids. At the end of September, we will have done 200 kids on the surf. No other charity is doing surf fishing camps because they're expensive. We give them a Quantum Strive rod and reel combo, which is a retail value of about $180. And then we're putting 275, 300 yards of braid on it. And the kids leave with that. So
how cool is that?
This
they got
raffle,
a fishing pole to go fish. Now to go fishing with.
This raffle potentially could fund the entire surf camp series of next year. If we could raise $10,000 off this raffle, that would be incredible. And we're giving some cash prizes too.
So we'll make a commitment right now to get together before that goes off. One more time, we'll bring them on the show. We'll sit down in front of everybody and we'll bring this one more time. But don't hesitate to donate, gang, because every penny is going to help to take kids fishing. Like I was saying before Tom and Caroline joined us, gang, the number one thing that we all need to do as a group, that everybody watches this podcast and watches all of our social media, we've got to take children fishing because we're about this close to losing fishing in America. They do not want you to fish in America, period, end of story. If you tell me I can show you statistics of how they've systematically taken away massive amounts of water for our access to fish. And there could be, Caroline could be sitting here, not, you'll never be as old as me, let's be honest, but you could be as old as your father, and there won't be any fishing left. You won't be allowed to fish.
Charged up about something?
Yes.
I heard about this 2 weeks ago. There's somewhere in South Carolina, a new resident to the state, buys a house on the beach with beach access right next to their home. They don't like surf anglers. They're raising a whole stink about it. Now there's a big movement to eliminate surf fishing in the state of South Carolina
Because of one Karen.
because of one resident that doesn't understand not only what fishing is doing for people, but the economy that surf ringing brings to the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida. It is a big business. It brings jobs to those states. It blows my mind that it got that much traction, and hopefully it slows down.
But it saves people's lives. Right. Forget about the money. It saves people's lives, gang. It saves people's lives. It brings fathers and daughters and mothers and sons together. That's what we're missing in America today, that togetherness, the family, the cohesive. Fishing does that for all of us. It brings you together. It brings you into a common denominator. That's why we had Reed on here. That's why we have Tom and Caroline on here. It's because of fishing.
You know, other than spending time with my kids, which is like the main reason I like fishing, but like when I lost my mother 2 years ago, when I was fishing for a few moments, hours, like I really didn't focus on that a whole lot. Like I'm able to like kind of wipe the slate for a couple hours and then just enjoy that thing, which I think is one of the healing powers of fishing, is when you're out there in nature enjoying what you're doing. You're not worried about the exterior, and you can just focus on the enjoyment of that activity. And I've played a lot of sports as a kid. I can't remember a baseball or football or wrestling doing that for me, but fishing, it's almost like I tune out.
You have to.
And that's
because Caroline, when that line touches the water, what are you thinking about? Getting a bite. Yeah, getting a bite. Yeah. Everything, like your dad just said. And I said this earlier before they came in here between Reed and Caroline. When the line touches the water, no matter what's going on in our world, Brandon, we forget about it all because we're focused. We're looking at the end of that line and we want to bite so bad. And that is a cool thing, because all the garbage that's happened today is just left. Get in here. Tell everybody what's going on, Brandon. You're a great speaker. You need to talk about this for a little bit.
I think you really nailed it on the head. And honestly, for me, what it is, it's like you said, just it's not only getting the line out there, but it's the possibility of what's about to come. And in that moment, when the fish bites, the rod bends, everything else around you just kind of fades away.
Exactly, right?
And to me, that's more healing than getting a dopamine hit from watching a 30-second TikTok video or something like that. Because those, not only in the moment, but it's also about who you spend it with. So whether it's your daughter, or in my case, my son, or Tom and I fish a lot together, it's those memories that you bond with people that are outside of, that something that's really way more meaningful and something that's just irreplaceable that you carry with you for the rest of your life versus something that's just fleeting.
And the stories when you get to, how long do the stories go on? For years and years and years.
Every fish has a story.
Right?
Right?
They're called lies.
But the stories, we still laugh about them. We belly laugh. It's just the stuff that happens when you're fishing is just magic.
Right.
It's absolute magic. With all the garbage in the world today and all the crap that's going on. Like I said, when that line touches the water, it's magical. You can't explain it. It doesn't make sense. If you've never fished, you don't know what Brandon and I are talking about. When that line touches the water, nothing else matters.
Absolutely.
As all the people that Tom's chased all day, he doesn't think about any of them. You know what's going on at home. You don't think about what the bills are. You just, everything stops for that.
That's absolutely right.
Right?
Everything just fades away. And I think the other thing too is it's also a connection to the past. So one of my fondest memories growing up was fishing with my dad and my grandpa. And as people come in and out of your life, as through seasons of life that change, those memories are still what holds you through and gets you through and creates those connections not only to the moment but also to the past and those fond memories that you carry with you the rest of your life.
Absolutely. You couldn't say it any better. Now, as far as the organization and gathering up, because we got to talk about this again, the funding and the whole thing, because it does cost, it takes a village to put this on.
Absolutely.
It takes a village to do all this. Tom and Caroline can't do it by themselves. You are a pillar for them. You do a ton behind the scenes stuff. You don't really get the recognition, but I know you're not doing it for that.
Sure.
That's not why you do it.
Yeah.
But really, at the end of the day, we need some donations. We need some people to get involved, right? Can you just talk about it a little bit more, please?
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
trying to put you on the
No,
spot.
no, it's okay. So a lot of our funding, and really the basis of it is we try to break down three big barriers to fishing, right? It's the access and the knowledge base that we've already talked about. Having somebody investing in your life, whether it's a parent or somebody else. But then again, it's also the equipment. So those are the three big barriers that we try to mitigate in the camps that we do. And we also we made a commitment early on to not only buy equipment that, because a lot of like some of the cheaper stuff, when you look at it, it just explodes in your hand. And that stuff costs money. So with the fundraising that we do for the tournament, what we do is after the tournament, we say, okay, well, this is how much we can do. And it sets the amount of camps that we can do. So any additional fundraising we can do, whether it be through the Seattle and Forge Kettle or even buying a hat or a bucket at a camp, every little bit helps because everything that we sell goes directly back into the camp and it's translated into a rod and a reel or a cast net and an experience for a family in one of our camps.
So you mean all the money's not going to Tom's slush fund?
None of it is.
No, that's so weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's why I stand behind these guys. That's why I've been hanging out with them for 3 years, because I believe in what they're doing, and it's super important for me and to take kids fishing. And I'm glad that you explained it a little bit more of how important it is, because no money's going. Tom's not living in a mansion because you donated $2 to this or $5 or $10. And Caroline's not living, she's not driving a Porsche. So just understand the money goes to taking children fishing, because what's the name of this group?
Kids Can Fish.
Kids Can Fish. It's super important. Understand that. Be involved. Help us all out. We got so many great members. You can get a hold of Caroline or Tom by just leaving a message on this show. We're going to check every platform. We're live right now on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, X, and Threads. And then as soon as this is over, we're going to go out on Spotify, Apple, and Megaphone. So there are going to be a lot of people that are going to see you guys. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to help you and your dad and Brandon take more people fishing. So this was a great message today. Thank you guys so much for letting me have a little bit of your time.
Having us.
I love you guys. I love having you. I love being around you guys. The energy that I get after this is going to drive me all the way to the lake when me and Brian go fishing this afternoon. Right, Brian? Everybody, thank you so much for watching our podcast today. I want to thank everybody that participated. Brian, Elliot, Brandon, Reed, Tom, Caroline, you're the best. Thank you very much. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, turn off the news. They're all lying. This is the only place you get the truth, and I'll have more truth for you tomorrow. See ya.